Hi everyone, in northwest Alabama it's robbing season now, and you can tell that by a few signs like leaving your colonies open too long will induce some robbing. Set a frame out of honey and it'll get robbed pretty quick. Well, yesterday I filled all 4 of those bowls up with sugar syrup. That would have been roughly about 8 gallons, and here it is just 3:30 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon and it's all gone. Plus I put about 10 or 12 more in this tote. It's all gone. In another yard where I have only 4 colonies, I've actually got a tote community feeder literally 25 yards away from it, and they have yet to find it. So now I'm going to show you something I can do to aid them to find that a little quicker. So we're here at the yard where I've got the 4 colonies that I made from queens that I raised earlier this year. One of them was a queen cell I found, but I started them out in mediums. They're drawing combs up into the deeps. Those are brand new foundations, and I just put the 2nd gallon of sugar syrup on there yesterday evening. At the same time I put out the other feed. I also brought this tote over here, which is literally, it's not even 20 yards from there. It's been here 24 hours and not the first bee has found it. And to me that's amazing during robbing season, but this happens from time to time. But I need these bees to find this as quickly as possible and get to using it in this hot weather. In the 90s, and we're fixing to see some 100-degree days. This sugar syrup, it will begin the fermentation process quite a bit quicker than normal. So I'm going to do a couple of things to hopefully help the bees find this. So number one, I happen to have a 5-gallon bucket with me. I'm going to dip about a cup or so of that syrup out and just pour it up top. The debris and stuff there won't matter. Next thing I'm going to do, this is probably the most important or influential thing that I can do, just take some of this lemongrass oil. And I'm just going to sprinkle a few drops around here on the ground up on top, and hopefully, well, that smell should, as strong as it is, it should, I'll probably put out about 10 drops there, but it should cause the bees to come over and investigate this and find it. Once a few scouts find this, they'll go to town on this. But that's something I do to get bees to find these community feeders, especially if they're a little slow. So here we are a day and a half later after I dropped the lemongrass oil around the feeder, and as you can see, the bees have found it, and it's 6:40 in the morning. They're not swarming it up, and there's not, those are some colonies I made from splits, so I raised queens for, but they're not huge populations, but they're now started, so this should simulate a nectar flow, and hopefully that'll help them draw out the foundations a little bit faster than with just the buckets. I do admit it's possible they would have found this anyway, but I have seen some of my yards in the past, the feeder set this close for over a week and they didn't find it. But every time I put a little lemongrass oil around it, they have found it every time. So I do strongly believe it will help the bees find it quicker. And then once the bees find it, it's game over. Then you don't have to worry about it, again, unless you go a period of time, probably more than 4 to 6 weeks without feeding, and you may have to do it again. But anyway, I just want to take a few minutes and kind of share this short tip. If you ever have trouble getting your bees to find a community feeder, dropping a little lemongrass oil around it will help. Now, I didn't put any in the sugar water because I don't want that smell going back to the hives. I just simply dropped it on the ground around there and on the top, and that's all it's needed. I don't want the smell in the hive. The smell at this time of the year can trigger robbing, as the smell would be transported to the hive. Well, I want to thank you for taking the time to join me for this short video. We'll catch you next time.